Hello, welcome to my channel, Lady D Psychic. This is my video on Elon Musk. Since what we've got going on now, I thought I'd do a video on Elon Musk. Look at his chart to see what he has. Um, to me, Elon is a very interesting character. I've always been on the fence about him, whether or not I like him, not like him. I feel like he's a bit of his energy to me is very odd and mysterious. I will say that. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about him. And I've been feeling that way for years, really. Anyways, let's look at his chart and see what we can see. And then I'll give you my psychic when I tune in to see what I get for what's going on with him at the moment. So as always, I will share the chart. Okay, so this is Elon Musk's chart. So he's born in South Africa. Monday, the 28th of June, 1971 at 7:30 a.m. So he's an ascending Cancerian. He's also got Sun in Cancer, Moon in Virgo, Mercury in Cancer, Venus in Gemini, Mars in Aquarius. So with Elon. Okay. So with him, he's the ascending Cancer. So his emotions are sort of hidden. You'll find with Cancerians, they can be a little bit grumpy, but it's like they hide their emotions a bit. They may come presenting as warm and a caring communicator because he also has his Mercury on the ascendant there. So his communication's a big part of him or how we see him. It's about communication. Even though he's a Cancerian. So having this on his ascending can come across as being a warm, caring communicator who listens deeply and speaks from the heart. People likely sense his emotional intelligence right away and feel comfortable opening up to him because the thing is with Cancerians, I find that they are natural healers and they find people who just want to tell them everything, and it's like they give up the natural healing ability as well. They're also family people too, so he would be a family man as well, being a Cancer. He'd also be very big on detail because of the moon in Virgo and over perfectionist as well, over detailed, orientated. The Mercury in Cancer, thinking a lot about the family, but again, like keeping the emotions in a little bit. Anyway, back to this Mercury on the ascendant. Um, so he may have a natural talent for making others feel understood and emotionally supported through his words. So first impressions often type a soft, nurturing vibe because Cancerians are nurturers and might appear somewhat shy or protective at first. I don't know, I just feel like his energies are weird. I just get this weird energy off him. Probably highly intuitive, and may pick up on sub clues or conversations before others do. Communication style may be indirect or caution at times, as he likes to protect himself emotionally, being that Cancerian. You could also have a strong interest in family, stories, heritage, and emotional history. Well, he would have a history since from South Africa. They have a big history there, as we've seen in the media, with what is going on over there, which I won't talk about in this video. But if you want to know more about that, just do research. What I will say, what the media is pushing is probably not the correct what's going on over there. Okay, so we got here Mercury on the ascendant also. Um, so I feel like communication is a big thing for me. It's how people see him, part of the communication. Mercury here means your mind is and communications are very visible and key part of your outward personality. You likely come across as curious, talkative, mentally alert, and your way of expressing yourself is a major part of how people know you. Also, true, I find with Cancerians is that yes, they hide their emotions a bit, but at the same time, I feel like they can be a little bit, how do I say this, catty. So when they are sort of triggered or something happens, they may not like sort of with Piscean, there'll be more victims and they will sort of cry and run away and do whatever. But I find with Cancerians, they can be a bit denial about it, and then the way that they sort of do things in return can be just a little bit different. Sulky still, but a little bit different. They got that hard shell in how they do things. And also too with his Mars in Aquarius, what makes him angry with something is, I guess not fair, but if it's sort of against humanitarian or technology might even though he works a lot with technology at the same time, if it's not going his way, we can't work something out, would also make him very frustrated or angry, or being told what to do or not having that freedom. People trying to take away his freedom will also make him be a bit angry and sort of trigger him a little bit too. Which we've seen in his might be part of the reason why we're seeing his little outbursts that's coming up. Okay, so that explains the Mercury on the ascendant. He has his moon in his second house. So he would see his mum as someone maybe with good self-worth issues, or maybe not have good self-worth issues, but also see his mum as maybe the earner, the breadwinner, or someone who earns a lot of money. Um, Something about earnings and self-worth is how he would see his mum, but also he would see her as someone who's a bit nitpicky and perfectionist as well. So moon also in Virgo in the second house. So the moon is like your emotional nature, instincts, and what makes you feel safe and nurtured. So Virgo, practical, detail orientated, very like analyze everything. Um, Health conscious a little bit too with him. The moon in Virgo often seeks emotional security through others, routine, and helpfulness. Second house, the house of personal values, possession of finances, and self-worth, which can mean he feels emotionally secure when his material financial life is stable. So for him, he needs everything to be stable, otherwise he can get a bit emotional about it. Maybe we know he's a big owner of that big company. You're likely to practical and very careful with money, often managing resources wisely. That's probably the way they brought him in there to try and save money because he's very good at that, having that moon in Virgo in that second house. Emotions can be closely tied to your sense of self-worth, feeling good about yourself, and you're productive of helping others. So he would be someone who definitely motivated by helping others, but also they're having that moon in Virgo. If he has felt like, things aren't done correctly, and if his self-worth, if he's being shamed, it's probably really hurt him. And with that black eye that was seen with that he had a few weeks ago, a week ago, we can sort of see why that's been an issue with him. It would be an issue with anyone, but it's probably he doesn't like to be embarrassed. And again, with those water signs, with Cancer, he can get a little bit broody as well. You may have a strong need to be useful, reliable, and competent, especially in practical and financial matters. I think that would be correct. Your emotionally well-being benefits from routine, cleanliness, and physical health. That's with the moon in Virgo. You might be sensitive about your possessions or how others perceive your financial status. I think that would be correct as well. I think he's very proud of what he's achieved in his life. Now, with his work too, he's got his midheaven in Aries, so he needs to be a leader, like be the boss. The only thing was, I was like, doesn't really about technology because his work is all about technology and he's got nothing actually in the 10th house. But when you go to the ruler of the MC, so it's in Aries, so you go to the ruler, which is Mars. His Mars is in the 8th house in Aquarius. That's where we get the technology aspect in for his work. So he's also motivated to do with the 8th house, which is other people's money. And have being in Aquarius, there's where your technology comes into. So also with the Aries in midheaven, so it means put yourself. So he needs to be bold. He needs to also with his work, he needs to be bold and assertive and a pioneer, which is what he is. Um, he's likely seen as someone who takes initiative and being competitive and likes to lead or start new projects, which we see that as well. The career path may involve being independent, courageous, or in roles that require action and confidence, which we see that with him. He may have strong desire to stand out, to be recognized for the courage and leadership. Well, I think he craves that, and we think we see that with him in his life. So having all this combination together to do with his work, so emotionally, he would thrive on stability, practical achievements. Professionally, he's driven to take charge, to be a trailblazer and to and make his mark. The combination suggests a person who balances practical, careful emotional needs with a dynamic and ambitious career approach. May have strong work ethic and desire to build a secure foundation, while pursuing leadership and entrepreneurship roles, as well. So his career success may come from his ability to be both detail-orientated and courageous, blending precise with bold action. And then we mix that with the Mars, which is where the technology comes into, and also the partnerships with other people as well to make that happen. Because he would be someone that would need there must be other people investing in his companies, and that would also be part of his whole business. I don't know a lot about I just know he makes the robots and the cars. I don't know a lot about what else he does with his business. It's not someone that I really interested in. I just would be interested to look at the chart for the video and for what's going on now. So in his third house, he does have Pluto and he does have Uranus. So when it comes to siblings, uh, unexpected things happen in his life with siblings. The Pluto can be, it could be the sibling that has like the power as well. Now, the third house can also be neighbors as well, and it can be communication too. So he can have a very powerful mindset too, with having the Pluto in here as well, also with the Uranus. Pluto's depth intensity combined with Uranus innovative means you can be transformative communicator, challenging old beliefs, bringing new ideas to light. Also might experience sudden mental breakthroughs or shifts in perceptive, sorry, in uh, his way he sees things, and that can be deeply changed through worldviews as well. So the way how he sees it, I can't get the right word out. I'm born with Mercury square Jupiter, so sometimes I just can't get words out. There may be a tendency towards mental relentlessness or intensity in strong desire for intellectual freedom for him, with the Uranus being in his third house. Um, And then there's also relationships with siblings or neighbors can be transformative or unpredictable as well. So Pluto may indicate that the sibling who holds the power, and Uranus, which refers to the sibling, the rebel in the family as well, having these two planets in here. I dare say he's probably the sibling who also tries to be the peacemaker and also to do with the family because his IC is in Libra. So he's probably the person in the family who tries to also be peacemaker and does things for everybody in the family as well. He's not got anything in the fourth house, but he does have things in the fifth house, which is relationships. So he's got Jupiter, which is the planet of luck, and he's got Neptune here as well. They are both in retrograde here. He actually would be quite creative having these planets here as well. So there's the fifth house, it's creative, it's self-expression, it's fun, play, it's romance, it's children, hobbies, it's joy and passion projects too. So we can see that definitely with him having Jupiter here, which brings him that luck. And Neptune can sort of bring that as well a little bit. It also can bring rose-colored glasses in relationships. So he would be someone that he has luck there. So people come through, he'll always have someone coming through for him in partners, but then he has these Neptune, it dissolves things, so it dissolves relationships, but it also brings in these sort of rose-colored glasses, this delusion. So people that you see this and they'll be that deluded, it's like their reality just gets completely not rational with some people. They can be a little bit manipulated in relationships with the Neptune being here, and especially being a Cancer. Uh, I know someone that's close to me who has this has Pluto. So I know someone's got Pluto here, and then this one's up here, and it's like their whole reality with relationships can be manipulated, where it's like their rationality is not there, and you can't do anything to you point it out to them, and they're going to be like a child and bratty and go against you. So with him, if someone like he's with someone that's not the best for him, if he's in this delusion state where he can't see it and someone points it out, he will just be like go against them, and he'll do whatever he's going to do, even though he probably knows that that person is right. Uh, and that's the thing with Cancerians. Okay, so we got here. So this having these planets in the fifth house, I've got here, you're a self-expression, creative, and love life are deeply spiritual and transformative, but also introspective. You might experience growth, inspirational through inner reflection, emotional depth rather than outward showness. There could, and also too, we don't see a lot with the relation. I mean, I think if I was to go looking, I could find stuff about relationships with him, but I didn't go and research that before doing this video. There could be a powerful usage to explore and express his authentic self in profound, meaningful ways. Also, he may have natural gifts of artistic, spiritual creativity, but it can be a journey to fully understand and trust his own unique vision. There's a blend of intensity with the Scorpio, because yeah, they're in Jupiter's in Scorpio, and then we've got the Neptune in Sag. And idealism too. So it's intensity because the Jupiter, idealism with the Neptune, making your creative and romantic life complex but rich. Like I said, he'll always have someone to be there. Okay, so his life lesson is so nothing in the sixth house, but his life lesson here is in the seventh, so it's about relationships. His life lesson is also about freedoms. It's also about technology as well, being an Aquarius. So humanitarian is also aspects is also part of his life lesson, but it's also about partnerships, even like personal ones as well as I'd say business too. It's part of his life lesson. So for him, soul growth happens through partnerships, learning to relate to in balanced incorporative ways. He's encouraged to move away from self-focused or independent tendencies. So towards embracing connection, collaboration, and seeing others as equal. So what is also so his DC is in Capricorn. So for him in partnerships, it needs to be like a business. It needs to have rules in relationships too. I don't know. I think his relationships will probably be a bit, I don't know, odd. The way how he would have to be in a relationship, very structured, the way his relationships would have to be. So the Aquarius flavor suggests the you seek unique and unconventional or friendship-based relationships rather than traditional and possessive ones. So you need to have some sense of freedom there with the node being in that seventh house. Your path involves so open-mindedness, fairness, and humanitarian values in your close relationships. Because also he's got that Venus in Gemini. So for him too, he wants someone who's very bubbly, who's very social, who's a natural networker, who loves to learn. So he'd also like someone who is very intellectual as a partner as well, mixed in with these other things too, and how he wants the relationship to be. And I think that's also part of the reason why I think he's had very like more than just one relationship too. Because I think he's even his expectations might be a bit unrealistic as well. You might be drawn to partners that are innovative, intellectually stimulating, or involve working towards social causes, which also mixes in with the Venus in Gemini. Learning to embrace teamwork, detach from overly emotional or competent patterns, or honing individually within relationships is the key. Your partnerships may help you evolve into a more progressive, future-focused um, so that's what we've got about the seventh house with him. So the eighth house, we've got Mars in the eighth house. So for him, he would be someone who's very motivated to make partnerships with people, as I said, is humanitarian things can make him angry, but also too things with money. So if someone tries to, how do I say, to anything to do business related, if someone tries to tell him what to do or take over, he's going to get angry. Also, people who things with financial things with people can also make him angry. So if someone reneges on a partnership, it's all going to go through and they pull it away or they pull the wool over his eyes to do with money, like a deal, it would also make him very angry as well. So with Mars in Aquarius, can bring unique, unconventional energy for deep transformation areas of life, may pursue um so you got that needs to be freedom. So I've got here, he can be passionate about causes relating to shared resources, social reform, or uncover truths. So his approach to power and control is often intellectual, detached rather than pure emotional. He may experience sudden bursts of energy or emotion or in emotional or financial matters connected with others. That's with the Mars being there. Might also challenge traditional norms related to intimacy, and joint finances. Um, his courage comes from embracing change and transformative in innovative ways as well. So I'm someone who has Mars in my eighth house as well. And yeah, sometimes just financial matters or in business, if someone's trying to maybe get ahead and you can see they're not doing it in a way that is, I guess, fair, could also make him angry too. Now, his ninth house, which is the house of learning, it is the house, a spiritual house too. It's psychic. It's also, even though he's smart and they say he's very big IQ, he wouldn't like school growing up. He probably doesn't like, probably travel is probably something that may have issues with traveling as well. Things might not go according to plan. This is also his wound as well. Even though his MC's in Aries, which would make him being a leader, it's also part of his wound. So his emotional pain. So his core wound might relate to asserting his belief identity to a wider world. He might struggle with feeling confident in the worldview of philosophy or spiritual path. There could be a fear of being judged or rejection from his ideas or the courage to pursue higher knowledge or new horizons. Got here, healing happens through developing his own authentic philosophies, standing firm in his truths, and bold exploring new perspectives. So he has the potential to become a teacher, guide, or mentor in spiritually or philosophical matters, especially by sharing how overcome self-doubt and challenges. Travel, study, explore the different cultures may be powerful for healing or growth. His journey involves in learning to balance independence with openness to other viewpoints. So having that there too. He probably is a little bit psychic, also having the Chiron in the ninth house as well. So now he's got Saturn in the 11th house. So that can be problems with people. For him, I find that he doesn't have friends that are around for a long time, and there's always going to be problems with him with problems with friends. So no wonder why. And I can also see why things didn't really go well with Trump. But that's part of the reason too. That, and I also reckon his Mars in the eighth house too, with the laws that are coming in. He's not happy about how it affects his business. Sorry. I think that's also made him a bit mad. But you can sort of also see him when he was in the White House, and they gave him that key where he was sort of holding things in. That's that Cancerian of holding stuff in. But then now he's coming out all guns blazing. Okay, so the 11th house is Saturn. So here, may experience lessons or responsibilities around friendships and social groups. I said there was problems there. I see Saturn as a planet of problems. Friendships may feel more serious, require effort to maintain, Or he may have a smaller, more selective social circle, so a very small group of friends that he might have. He'd likely value meaningful communication, intellectual connection with friends and groups, because it's also in the sign of Gemini. There may be a curious structure approach to networking or joining organizations too. He probably likes to be part of different social groups as well. But again, problem fitting in too. Long-term goals could be related to learning communication or connecting to ideas and people. Well, we know that's true and where he's going in his business. Might feel a duty to contribute to causes in communication or a practical, responsible way. Challenges could include overcoming social anxiety, learning to trust others, or dealing with delays in achieving social ambitions. So over time, can help. They say Saturn can help rebuild friendships and effective networks, but I just see it as problems. The way that I've have Saturn, it's just a planet that brings in problems, and so for him, it's in that area of his house. Now, he also has that Venus on the cusp here of the 11th and 12th, so it's going to affect both houses. So having Venus in the 11th house, that actually can mean that he can have friends for a long time. It can mean also that he finds love through friends. So it'd be interesting to find out, if anyone knows how he finds his partners, how he just finds some sort of friend connection there. But at the same time, he hides his love. So as I said before about you're telling them what's wrong and they'll know it's true. So he won't really tell people what's going on in his relationships. He hides that from people. And people may pick up on it or intuitively sort of tell him. He won't tell them because he doesn't want to be told what he already knows but he'll still go through with things. It's this weird thing with Cancerians about having that Venus in that area. But it affects both houses. So he can also be the way he loves can be very playful as well and very social. He may be someone that likes more than one lover, but potentially. I'm not going to say that all Geminis cheat. I don't believe in that, but there's that playful side there, and that networking side, the way that he loves. And also that intellectual connection that he also needs too. Um, And yeah, social flirtations and often enjoys multiple friendships or interests. Okay, goes on the cusp. It means that it's in both houses. So Venus in the 11th, he's charming, likable in social settings. He may attract friends easily and have a natural talent for connecting with people, but then there's problems there, so it doesn't last. Friends may also they come with finding romance with friends. You value harmony in your social world and long-term goals. Try to love art and or beauty. Then Venus in the 12th house. He would bring some sort of karma from past life to do with love and money into this life. That does happen. Also, too, having the sun also in the 12th house, there's like karma from a past life to do with the father that he's bringing into this life. Also, having the sun here, he may feel like he's hidden or that he likes to be behind the scenes more in background, even though we see him out in the media. But it's a part of him that he would like to sort of keep hidden. So he might be more naturally more introverted than actually extroverted. But then because of his job, he has to come out and be extroverted. So there's private possibility of hidden side to the love life, also having the Venus there. You may you may love, this is also with Venus, may love or secret or sacrifice your own desire for others. Deep comparison, spiritual longing, or unspoken affection may be defined in your romantic patterns. Artistic talent may flourish in solitude or in service something greater than yourself. So also here, having Venus Cup, you balance being outgoing and sociable with private, mystical, compassionate love. You may attract admirers in the public, but keep your trusty, like who you trust, feelings, desire hidden. There's a duality here, playful and curious on the outside, but emotional, deep and sensitive beneath the surface. Having the sun there, emotionally intuitive, protective, nurturing, and deep connection to the home family and emotional roots because of the Cancer being there, but you sort of hide it. Sensitive to the moods of others, seek emotional safety. Placement gives a quiet. I said that you sort of want to be hidden. I'm just looking at my notes here. You may feel comfortable behind the scenes in roles, like so, or supporting others, which I just said. Are often highly in empath, being an empath, but also being very good imagination, spiritually gifted as well, because it's in Cancer, that may struggle to fully express yourself, or to feel seen. He's learning to ride an inner light into the world without fear or retreat. Solitude can be necessary for recharging, but isolation can be a shadow to watch out for. Also, too, with his dad. So his dad's hidden. So I feel like he's someone that wouldn't be his dad, like wouldn't be so his dad may be in a different country. He may not speak to his dad a lot. His dad may not be present in his life. Also having the sun in the 12th house as well. Um, so I think that's about it. But I just feel like he's someone who's very broody as well. Now with the transits, what we've got going on here. So the reason why he was able to be out with Trump and have those connections, it is part of his natal chart with the Mars in the eighth house. Also part of the whole partnerships here with the in Capricorn. But also he's had Uranus going through the 10th, so it's unexpected, unusual possibilities that have come up to him. So going into government, it was a bit of an unusual event. Also creating that partnership with that Venus here in the cusp of the 11th to 12th also gave him that step in too with I guess with Trump too. Thing is though, Uranus is now it's coming out of this 10th house. It's going into his 11th house, so it's going to be unexpected with friends. It's also we see this breakdown. This year, very soon, within the next month or so, he's going to have Uranus come over and it's going to hit his natal Saturn. That is going to be unexpected problem that's going to come up for him. It's going to hit once this year and then it's going to go backwards, retrograde, and then it's going to come back and hit again next year. So there's going to be some unexpected problems for him. It's going to come up with that. Also, too, especially next year, his work isn't going to be so over the next year and then for the next roughly 9, 8 years, his work isn't going to be smooth sailing in his career. He's going to have Chiron come through this house and it's going to cause him a bit of pain, a bit of difficulties. He may lose money, he may lose projects. There's something going on here. He has already been through where he has lost some money in the past, say 10, 15 years. There's been a thing of him, we saw actually him having problems and losing money when he did buy X. It seems to have corrected itself now because he had Saturn going through the eighth house, was causing him some problems there. Now, then he had Neptune going there as well, a few years ago. That was a long transit. They're now in the ninth house, so it's going to be more problems with when it comes to travel. And there was a problem with I'm sure it was his spaceship. Something happened to the spaceship. It was going to Mars. I think it exploded. I can't quite remember. But that's the problems in travel, learning. Plus, it's got the Chiron here already here as well. So there's problems in this ninth house. So that's about courses, studying, it's psychic house, it's travel. So in those areas at the moment, probably not the best for him. He's got Pluto also going through this seventh house. Pluto is destruction and rebuilding. So again, it's also here working with what's going on around here to destroy the partnership that he had with the US government. Um, I suspect the reason why he's angry is more because of business side of things. Then I feel like it's more about business than people, is what I feel like. And I feel like he did do a good job. I feel like that he just has this weird vibe, Elon Musk. Just to me, it's just this weird vibe about him. He does actually have Jupiter going through this 11th house. So last year, so when Trump was going in the election, he had Jupiter that's come through this 11th house. So that's when he was more social and he would have met new friends. So it's possibly when he may have met or got into the Republican Party, if I was to go back in time. Also, when it hits, if I go back in time when we had Jupiter hit Venus, that was either love or money. So if I just go back a few months, so if I just go back, let's have a look by let's just do then the beginning of this year and see. Oh yes, so he had coming in here as his January. So by the end of January is when he got the job to go in to do the cusp coding, which would have been the Jupiter over Venus, because that would have happened there. Yep. Um, have a look when it happened. I'm not too sure what the dates of when that happened actually, but he's had he had 3 months, which would have been March. And I dare say it would have also hit last year as well. So energy was there because it would have hit like last year, gone backwards and come forward. Okay. So he had luck either love or relationships. I think it was more of a sorry, not love or relationships, money or relationships. I feel like it was more of a money than relationships that he would have had luck with. And I think that was him getting in the White House and the luck with him looking through all the different things, learning how to cut the costings down. So it happened in around April, but also it would have also hit last year as well, which may have given him the foot in the door to be part of the Republicans, also being Jupiter in that 11th house. Also, he's meeting new people, he's being more social, and that's we can see that how that's played out in his life in that area. But now Jupiter's now coming out of that house. When we go to June, it's now way out of that house. So now the energy is left. So we now go back to what he's got natally, and plus he's got the Uranus here. So it's unexpected, it's been unexpected, unusual that has happened for him. Probably didn't see this coming. And there's going to be a lot more things that happen to him with his friends that are going to be unusual things that are going to come up with him. Now, he does have, in about, I reckon by July, he does have Jupiter, which will come over his sun. That will be luck over his life. That's actually pretty good energy. So yeah, by next month, we got Jupiter over the sun. It's luck over his life. Like the energy can last up to 3 years. It's then going to also make it to August. It's going to come over the ascendant. It's going to hit his Mercury. That's going to be luck with communication. So some good news is going to come up with that, with him. We've got also that conjunction there with the Neptune and Saturn in the ninth house. So we'll just see what's going to go on now to do any further travel or learning. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in that time in that area of his life, too. Probably in that time, I would not be doing another space shuttle trip or yeah, so we're going to be some things happening with maybe with these robots and stuff. May not be as good. Also too with Uranus, because Uranus also rules electricity, so and technology. So having that go through the 10th house is why he's focused so much on that technical side of things as well in the last, I'm going to say the last 8 years or more. So when Jupiter comes down to here, which will be this year, it will be like he's heading in the right direction, and sort of there's luck. It can be luck with health as well in that area. But next year, actually not next year, when we get into 2027, he's going to have Jupiter come in the second house, and that's going to be a pay rise. He's actually going to get more money coming in. Okay, to the chart. So if I go 2027. Yep, Jupiter's in that second house. It's going to be more money coming in. So he's going to earn more money. Something will come up for him. And then that will help the transit of Chiron at that time. Chiron's in that 10th house, and that will help whatever's going on there, that will help him out a bit. So he'll get more money in that time. He's still gonna have Pluto in that seventh house, and then he's still got that Saturn Neptune there in his ninth house. So interesting. We can kind of see what's going on in the chart with him. So as I said with him, I just feel like I've always felt like he has a weird energy. I feel like there is something that happened with the black eye. There is something shameful. There is something that has happened with him. But now I just see him, it's like he's opening up his jacket, and it's like I just feel like it's like all guns blazing. So I just feel like he's gonna come out now and tell things that he's uncovered. But whether it's the truth or not, I feel like he's going to spin it in a way that is good for him. Because also being a Cancerian, I find with Cancerians, it's part of their personality is that they act it the way they think that you want them to act. So it's like they can't be their true selves around people, and they'll change the way that they're acting depending on who's around them. So I do feel like with him too, there could be he's someone that holds a lot in as well. Having those planets in that 12th house, he would hold secrets in, and there could be some stuff that gets revealed as well if he's not careful. I feel like he's just very like sulky, and that's the thing that Cancerians I find can get too. They can get a little bit sulky as and they can be a bit on the defensive side of things as well when they do get like that. I feel like he's not happy, but he does. I feel like he does want to make change. When it comes to his work, look, I'm not someone who's a fan of the power electronic cars. It's not something that I see the future where we're going. I feel like there's going to be something else that comes in its way. And I don't know, something about them being very bulky or clunky as well. In terms of the robots, the people, while I do feel like AI is going to be a big advance in the world coming up, we've got the Pluto in Aquarius. I just see people sort of rejecting the robots. I feel like I feel like people are comfortable in having like a chat GPT where we can ask the questions. In myself, I feel very comfortable using chat GPT. I use it a lot for my business. I use it a lot to ask questions, to do things in both my jobs. If I want to know something, I go to chat GPT. But I don't feel comfortable having a robot that looks like me in my house doing things for me. It's just something a bit creepy about it. So I feel like that there's going to be a rejection of people with the robots, but then it's like people are going to be okay using an AI app or an AI website. I feel like you're going to have to adjust things. Can we trust Elon Musk? I don't know. I mean, he's not a Scorpio. He's got some good tries with Venus and Mars, so he's very motivated to get things going. It's actually good with his business and the technology aspect too in his chart. I can see where there's a try, which the Venus and Uranus. He's not good with unexpected communication, though. He needs to have everything planned out as well. Hmm. I just feel he's going to try and take down the government, but it may not work. And I feel like he needs to be careful because I feel like that there's even secrets that he has that may be uncovered that he needs to be careful of, that he's not realizing yet. Because I don't think that he's thinking very smartly. He's just trying to push buttons because his buttons are being pushed, and he's just been hypersensitive with things as well. Um, and I feel like because it's going to hurt his brand, his business, I even feel like when it comes to X that he gets a bit pushed around in it. I don't know how that company works out for him, but I just feel like I see him being pushed in that company where I just feel like there's like a bully there, or someone's bullying him, or someone's trying to overstep the mark with him in that part of his business too. He's going to have to think on his feet and think very differently. But there's something about him that's just not right or just a bit odd. I just feel like his energy is very odd to me. He'd be very critical with the Virgo mixing with the Cancer as well. But then behind closed doors, he's probably a very loving and very happy and fun person behind closed doors. I think he wants to stand up for himself, but I don't know if it's going to work. That's the thing too, because there's a thing about like it's just a thing about trust with him as well. Um, too. I just see him being very, very sulky. That's what I get from him as well. Okay, so what do you get from Elon Musk? Are you someone that you like this character? Do you not like him? What do you think of his technology advances? Like, I feel like these celebrities know stuff that we don't know about in terms of future, where the world is going. Um, I feel like that there's going to be a big shift in partnerships with the world, with the Uranus changing signs, with the solar flare that's happening. And I feel like that people like him know things that we don't know, and perhaps even knows to get a head start on things. Will he tell everything that he's found out? I don't think he will, because I feel like if he does tell everything that he has found out, it's going to compromise himself. Because I feel like he's not completely innocent with things either. And I feel like he's done some stuff that has sort of not been the best in how he's gotten things to, but I feel with him as well. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen. Um, I also feel like maybe he was looking into things that maybe he should have been looking at as well. So maybe he had access to things and certain things he shouldn't be looking at, and he's found some stuff that he's not completely happy about. Um, I just don't think he's going to uncover everything either. Okay, so that's my video. I'll leave it there because otherwise this video will go too long. Um, I hope you've enjoyed my video. Thank you for your likes, shares, and your comments. And I will see you for my next video. If you're a celebrity that you want me to look at and research what about their chart, please put it in the comment section and I will see if I can find their details and be able to look at their chart as well. So thank you for joining me and I'll see you again.